everyone. Welcome to another episode of Concilium Watch. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Austin.
And today we're going to be going over what we have seen for Corregidor, one of the sectorial armies for nomads. And probably going to be my main faction in N4, unless something with Hawk or Combined Army really sways me very, very, very hard. Hassas and Brahm, I am looking at you.
Yeah, this is a pretty big change for Corregidor, I will say.
It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be pretty powerful.
Powerful is not the word. Ridiculous is the word.
Well, while we can get into that, we first have a bit of a shout out. Take it away, Austin.
This video is sponsored by Goblin Tavern. They have all the shiny things. Goblin Tavern, if you don't know, I've posted it everywhere that I can get my hands on, has built me a wall. It's in 3 separate pieces, and he built it for me, and he's shipping it to me built. It's got swinging doors, all the detail, acrylic, even on the, I've got little doors on the outside. It's got the Galwegian emblem on it. It's even got acrylic windows. And it's just magical. I love it. I can't wait to paint it and play on it.
If I recall correctly, didn't you ask him to base it off of, what, Hadron's Wall?
Yep, Hadrian's Wall. I asked him, I said, I want a wall. He's like, okay, give me a reference. Hadrian's Wall. Okay, I can do that. And this is what he came up with. You just need to give this guy an idea. These guys are fantastic. Right now, he's doing a giveaway. All you have to do is like this post that he has, follow him, share your story, and tag a friend. The winner will be posted on October 1st and drawn, and you're going to get one of his Magic the Gathering deck boxes or what he calls his baby paint rack for all of our painters out there.
Once again, thank you, Goblin Tavern, for creating this awesome piece of terrain. We're going to have a lot of fun playing on it.
I can't wait.
All right. Moving on. We've got the new hacking changes for N4. This is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of trimming that has been done to the list here.
Trimming is a word for it. It's very important to actually go over hacking programs for nomads as one of the premier hacking factions in the game. The fact that a lot of programs are now gone is probably going to be a huge point of contention for a lot of nomad players nowadays. We've gotten very used to having our interventor lieutenant with all the nice little things, able to do whatever he or she wants with her lieutenant order. But as you can see here, all the support is now on Evo hackers.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't Evo hackers going down in price from what we've heard, though?
That's what the rumor on the street is, which I think will be good. Nomads players are still probably going to be a little upset because the Salyut is a slightly older model. Okay, I'm a little upset because the Salyut is a slightly older model.
Yeah, well, they might get an update soon.
Hopefully.
It is worth noting that we don't know exactly what all of these programs are going to do yet. We do have an idea based on what these programs of similar names would have done in N3, but there could be even more shakeups in that sense in N4.
And I believe we've heard that program upgrades are still going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we still might have Maestro, Lightning, Icebreaker in upgrade form, which would still be good. But we'll kind of see how things shake up. The fact that hacking devices as a whole now have Oblivion and Carbonite is pretty interesting.
And the new Spotlight is actually incredible in N4. It's really going to be one of those ones that you'll throw out any chance you get because it can target anyone, not just hackable units.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. I'm very happy to see also that White Noise is sticking around. It's going to be, I feel, a very important program coming soon because from what we've seen, I think MSV is going to be a lot more prevalent. They seem to be passing it out a little bit like candy.
Yeah, I did the count, and I don't have the exact numbers, but I remember having this conversation with you, Jonathan. There are 100% more MSV than there was in N3.
That's hilarious.
So moving on to our first new revamp, it's the Wildcat.
I've always loved the Wildcat. The Wildcat was always a cheap BS-13 little medium infantry that could. But then 4-2 made it sad.
4-2 made it sad, but that was like, for me, the very short amount of time that I was playing Corregidor, they still seem really good, real good toolbox pieces, and now they're just much more betterer.
Much more betterer is a way to put it. I know a lot of the talk around town is, oh no, they're Grenzers. And sure, the points values do bring them very close to what a Grenzer is. But that's about where the similarity ends. Sure, multispectral visor level 1, sure. 4-4 movement now that everyone's going to have. I think the armor values and BTS values are a little different, and Whip 13. But base Harris, number 2 base, total terrain, and they don't have the same exact weaponry, but the big thing that they have, that the Grenzer, as far as we know, does not, is an NCO Spitfire.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That's amazing.
I think that's going to be an almost staple in Corregidor lists, because it's pretty common to bring a kind of just filler lieutenant. You're going to have probably an alguacile just hanging in the back, drinking beer behind a building, saying, I'm the lieutenant. And like, yeah, you do what you want. Just stay back there. Don't get shot.
So I think that's what the big thing for, like, the Wildcat. So they are getting the NCO. They do have the engineer. They got the regular hacker. Now they have a killer hacker. And the lieutenant's only 24 points, and that was a big thing for Corregidor as a whole, is bad lieutenants.
Yeah, they often have lieutenants that are either going to be super obvious, super expensive, or cost an SWC in the form of the alguacile. Before, there wasn't really a problem with bringing an alguacile lieutenant because you weren't going to often cap out your SWC. But it is... I'm really hoping that the alguaciles are going to lose that SWC cost, because we're going to need to bring so many more toys, and we're going to have so many more toys to bring. I think one of the interesting things, though, with the engineer is the activator's still around.
Yes, that's an interesting one. And notice the Gizmo kit is here.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that, especially because I'm hoping that we see enough upgrades on the Corregidor tags, especially the geckos and the iguana, to make them a little bit more worth the punch. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of people dislike, say, the iguana because he's a 2-wound tag. Sure, he pops the baby HI with 2 wounds. I'm going to say what I think everyone will say. You don't bring a tag for a little HI surprise inside. You bring a tag for a tag.
Fair enough. Next unit we've got here is the Sombra. These guys look pretty sweet. They kind of look like baby Kriza Borax.
They have the little salt collecting devices on their backs.
The helmets are similar shapes too.
They are. I didn't actually notice that. And we can see from their dossier that they're packing some pretty close to medium range firepower, which we'll see why with their profile. Because they're midfield camo guys. Or as I heard on the grapevine, hey, Corregidor has Zensha.
Yeah, because these guys have 4 deployment plus 8 inches. They've got mimetism to go with their camouflage, and no wound in cap, along with shock immunity.
Climbing plus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, they're Corregidor Zensha. They have literally everything a Zensha has, but I think better BTS and in Corregidor. So all of the benefits of Nomads without any of the fattening, extra additives of Yuching.
Just Yuching getting dunked on once again. I am 100% okay with this.
You be quiet, Pano player.
That's Pano propaganda. We will not have it.
But I do like that the different profiles on the Sombra are, you can either bring a nice little hit piece with the Red Fury for 39 points, bring a hacker if you want it for 43.5. The killer hacker for 41 I think is great. I think more killer hackers in Corregidor is going to be great, because currently they really only had the bandits, which were good. And they're still probably very good, but they were irregular. Now you can bring a beefier one with a multi-rifle who's going to be pretty tough to put down. And then finally, if you want to forgo really big weapons, you can go down to a breaker combi, a light shotgun, but pick up some AP mines for 39 points and stay a specialist.
That's the one that stands out the most to me because it has so much utility and still keeps that specialist title.
Yeah, I do agree with that. He's got good range bands on the breakers combi. He's got a nice little close-up defensive tool with the light shotgun. And if all else fails, let's be honest, he is a shock immune NWI dude. If you're just going to shoot him with something like really small, pop out an AP mine and just be like, your turn.
Yeah. The other thing to mention here, he is medium infantry, which means he's not hackable. The Zensha was hackable, and this guy is not.
That's actually a really interesting point, because he does have actually very close to HI defensive stats with his Arm 3 BTS 6.
Exactly.
And he's camo. It's just not fair. It's just not fair.
I mean, the Zensha was also camo, but no, he's definitely got a little something to make him worth your while.
The Evaders, Ava Tactical Group. I was excited to see these guys.
These guys look sick.
I'm a little on the fence with them. I like them. I think they're great. I think an AP Spitfire is awesome. I think an AP Spitfire is amazing. But I think there's one thing that people are going to point at and be like, oh, why CB? And that's that they're HI with 1 wound and WI shock immunity.
Yeah, but they're so cheap.
They are. They're incredibly cheap. 24 points for the basic profile and 23 points for a boarding shotgun with a tin bot and AP mines. Why do I always feel like every time we look at profiles on this, it's just like I'm looking at it for the very first time? I have a problem.
BS 13 on these guys is 100% solid. Arm 3 means they're a bit of a lighter HI, but they still get the job done.
They're very comparable to Zhu Yong's in that sense, because Zhu Yong's, as far as we know, are 3-3 as well, kind of a basic HI in that regard. But I think the weaponry is what's going to pull them ahead. They have a Fuhrbach!
Yeah, and all of these guys are specialist operatives, by the way.
Yeah, indeed. That's actually really, really good.
Why does everything in Corregidor get climbing plus? That's what I want to know.
Because they're in space.
They're very used to 0G, so they're very used to having to scramble around and fix things on that dirt old ship. Oh my god.
They've got all these magnetic boots to move around.
Everything's got decharges, so everything's got a deactivator. So, dude, if looting and sabotaging, you're going to be able to sabotage everything.
If we still see it as an IT.
If we still see it, yes.
It is worth noting that if you were to use the decharges in close combat, you'd only be rolling for a 12, but
you still got you got 3 engineer options: AP Spitfire, supporting shotgun, the multi-rifle, Panzerfaust, AP mines. All of them have gizmo kits. One has a 10 bot. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. The nice thing is that you've got these engineer profiles that have all of their main weapons. You've got the multi-rifle, you've got the boarding shotgun, you even have an AP Spitfire that's an engineer. Like, that's notable.
Honestly, looking at these profiles, were I to say build, I don't know, a core, if they could perhaps make one, I could definitely see the boarding shotgun engineer. I could see the AP Spitfire and the Feuerbach, because it's a Feuerbach.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a pretty solid just Harris right off the gate, and maybe there's some wild cards that Corregidor might have that can fill in some gaps to make them a core. I'm just saying.
It's also notable that the Feuerbach and the AP Spitfire are only 1.5 SWC. In N3, the Feuerbach would probably have costed 2 SWC, but this is that SWC discount for HI in play right here.
Which I think is marvelous.
Definitely.
I think these guys are going to be, though, competing with Mobile Brigada, and as far as I can see right now, I think these guys might take the cake just because of mobility, great weaponry, and they can still take a punch.
True.
Vostok Sputniks, dude, these
We got a new remote.
they look awesome, but not fun to play against at all. At all.
Oh, I love these guys. Their attack remotes, so they're BS12. They're ARM3 VTS6, so they're actually pretty chunky. And they're immune to AP.
And their structure, too.
Look,
And yet again with the climbing plus and repeaters because, it's nomads. We have to have all the repeaters.
well, the climbing plus is actually, it feels like a staple for the attack bots in nomads, because if you actually look at the cyclones, they also have climbing plus.
Yeah.
But the weaponry here, okay, first, the elephant in the room. 3 of these profiles have albedo. 1 has ODD.
Yeah.
And they're not expensive. The only expensive profile here is the missile launcher with +1 burst, which, yes, that's automatically yes. But a Mark 12 +1 damage or a Red Fury +1 burst?
Pretty sweet. The thing that really stands out about these guys to me is because they're AVA2, you could technically have one of the albedo and one of the ODD, like mimetism -6 ones. And now you've got an answer for, are they using MSV or are they not using MSV? It doesn't matter because you're going to be -6 regardless.
I'm just looking at the movement, and so Corregidor already has access to McMurrah. So I'm going to take a Vostok, I'm going to take McMurrah, and I'm just going to go up both edges while my core just wreaks all kinds of havoc, and they just do all the things on the back line.
So I have a little sneaky plan, but it requires a little bit more information that we'll get to in a minute. But I'm just going to say it now. Full remote list.
No.
Full remote list. And it will be hilarious. Because this is half of the reason why.
Yeah, you could definitely do it. So we got the full list here of all the profiles. What do you guys think?
Honestly, not a lot has changed. Mobile Brigada might have gone up 1 AVA instead. I'd have to double check that. But let's look at the important bits. My remotes. No, the remotes are definitely pretty standard. The Gecko's going up to 4. I don't remember if they were 4 before.
They were.
Okay, cool. Everything here seems to be pretty much the same. Though, Wolfgang, that's a new name.
That is a new name.
Yeah, we got a Mozart character.
Who's a Wolver?
He is a Wolver, yeah.
He's a Wolver. Yes, he's a Wolver. Wolfgang Amadeus Wolf is a Wolver. And I don't know about you guys. I'm getting a little bit salty that all these Ariadne things are going out everywhere. I'm getting a little salty about it.
Hey, man, if they had to go with anyone, at least they're with the cool people.
Yeah, y'all did help us get, for
Yeah,
O12
there you
recognition.
go. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, this is going to be the biggest, what the hell thing ever. Literally everything in Special Wild Teams for Corregidor's wild card.
I love how you called them wild teams.
Did I?
That's what they are. They are wild teams. They are special wild teams. They're not fire teams. They are wild teams. Mobile Brigada can be part of any fire team. Evaders, any part. Cyclones, any part. As if Cyclones were not already fantastic with the Alagasiles. Now I'm just going to put them with everything. Vostoks, go with everything. Dactaris, go with everything. They could before, though. Senior Massacre can now, FTO, Senior Massacre, FTO, can go with anything, not just Jaguars. Lupe can go with anybody, not just Jaguars. Wolfgang, we don't know anything about. Everything can go with everything, and I'm not happy about it. The wild teams.
Exactly.
This kind of plays off of the fact that Corregidor is a loose coalition of criminals.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's just a bunch of criminals all banging heads together as they're killing everything else.
But this is one of the reasons why I say full remote list. 2 Cyclones, 2 Vostoks, and an Alguacile babysitting them. Or, if you want, a Mobile Brigada or Evader babysitting them. Could you imagine those 4 bots, and an evader probably, climbing up buildings to shoot things.
All I will say is that they've got a lot of real estate they're covering there with all of those massive bases, but it would be hilarious.
I don't care. Spider bots climbing up buildings.
It is important to note here the Vostok, it does have a wild card, but it is only for the fire team option. So I don't know if we've seen... double checking the profile, we've not seen the fire team option yet. Which one would you hope is the one that gets to go into the fire team?
Red Fury.
ODD.
Actually, I don't think it'll be the Red Fury, because Red Fury would go up to burst 6, and that's not possible.
Hey man, you said hope, not think. If I had to be honest, it's a tie between the Albedo missile launcher and the ODD Mark 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, burst 3 missile launcher in the active turn would be pretty wild.
All right, I'm quit. I'm done with this. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not playing anymore.
Hey, it's 46 points. It's 46 points. You're paying a pretty penny for that. Ignoring the fact that, we're capped at 15 orders. But hey, buddy, it's okay. I'll just bring a...
No, for three shots off a missile launcher? No, that's not okay.
It'll be fine. He'll be core linked. He'll probably have, assisted fire on him. He'll shoot you 3 times with a missile launcher. And whatever you know, love, and cherish will be dead. It's okay.
I'm
gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you so hard.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good point. After you buff this guy up with Evo Repeater, he's going to be basically BS 18 in the link.
Here I thought I was supposed to be afraid of the Yodam. Not anymore! Say hello to my little friend!
Yeah, guys, as you can tell, there's a lot of really powerful things getting added to Corregidor, and I think this is really going to bring them to the forefront of a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, Corregidor and Bakunin were kind of the left out stepchildren once Tunguska actually started getting their upgrades. And even before that, Bakunin had a little bit more interesting oomph to what they could do with the Moiras. Even though people discount them, I think ODD fire teams are just good. And even ignoring the Moiras, you had very cheap core team and the moderators to back up the Riot Girl Harris. Corregidor was always kind of that weird spot where you have all these really expensive things and no really good lieutenant option that they, again, like you said, took the back seat. This is going to give them power. This is going to give them so much power that I'm a little nervous about it. But come on. For like the first week until something gets a nerf, I'm going to be playing with that full fire team core of remotes, and I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah, we will definitely see how the rest of Infinity and the rest of the other armies rise to meet this standard. I mean, I'm really excited for next weekend. It's going to be a great time.
I'm going to hate you immensely. All right. Well, guys, we hope that you enjoyed yourselves. We certainly did. Like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and hit the bell icon. So anytime we come out with anything, we can share it with you, and you'll be the first one to know. It'll help us out a ton.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time.